Hi guys, it's Stephanie from Shimmering Bodies. What I have for you today is a tarot card reading with channeled messages, and this is in honor of what is healing over this next lunar cycle. So we're looking at going from the full moon that's happening tonight for the month of February and going into the next full moon, which will happen in March. And so what I did is I pulled some cards, these 3 cards here, that just have to do with the collective and what everybody's going through at this time. And I also divided the reading out into astrological signs. So we have the air signs, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. You can also go to the Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. For the water signs, the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, or to the earth signs of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And you can pick your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or just pick one of the card stacks that makes sense for you. You can choose any of those readings, and the link for those readings will be posted below. So just of what's the collective going through at this time is we're still going through a great deal of confusion and challenges and healing when we have to be on our toes. So this is about a time of not knowing what the future holds, of having to go within to intuit what are the best next steps to move forward, and to not get too caught up in the challenges of it all, because there are still great challenges that have occurred and that will be occurring, and to be really wise in all the actions that we take at this time with great and meticulous attention to detail, because whatever we're doing now is the step that moves us forward into what happens next. So we really want to be very aware of what we're setting up, and also to remember to just practice kindness with others always, because we don't know what they're going through or how all these stresses have affected people. And as a whole, we're just all going through a great amount of fatigue and just that inner challenges where you have to pull yourself up from your bootstraps. So go ahead and look at the links below and choose a reading accordingly. Again, you have the water signs, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, beautiful air signs, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, as well as the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. All right, so this is a reading for our beautiful air signs. And so before I get into the reading, I'd like to share with you some channeled messages that I channeled for you. So I focus on you before I pull these cards, and I do some channeled messages. So the first thing that came to me, because this is in honor of what we are healing during this full moon lunar cycle, the question that came to me is, how do you shine in the darkness? Because that's what the moon does. The moon, even when it's dark out, it knows how to shine. So I was picking up on time and feeling pressured by time. I also think it's about internal cycles of time, feeling like it's time for a change or time to break free from certain things that feel like they're holding you back. It's sort of like that feeling of being in a chokehold and wanting to get out of it. So freedom and breaking free is one of the themes. And what came to me is to focus on what you can control and to realize what you can't control. It's like that Alcoholics Anonymous, thing. I don't know what it is exactly, but it's something like, give me the wisdom to, I don't know what it is, but it's something about, know what you can control and what you can't control, and the grace to accept and to know the difference between the two. So I think that's something that you can look up or focus on if you already know it. The other thing is just like, I feel like you're a little bit in a space of like worry and self-doubt, and so you don't have a lot of pleasure, and so you might be seeking pleasure in things that are maybe unhealthy, like drinking too much, or eating too much sugar, or like deadening the senses in some way to create some numbness, just to like make it through this difficult period. So I think just finding balance is really important for you, whatever that means for you, and paying attention on your fitness and being in a soothing environment, because I feel also like you might have extreme sensitivity to light and sounds and noises and things like that right now. So what you're going through during this time is like a change in perspective. So some of the other signs are going through transforming energy on physical and emotional planes. And what I think you're doing right now is you're like reshaping and reframing the way you look at things so that you can level up and move forward with your spiritual ascension process. So I don't know if you know this thing called thought stopping, but that came to my mind, where you notice you have a negative thought and you literally say to yourself, okay, stop. And whenever you notice that you're having negative thoughts, particularly about yourself or about situations or just anything where you feel like you're having negative limiting thoughts, you just stop the thought and you replace the thought with something more positive. It can be anything that's positive, or even just a positive image in your mind. It's just reprogramming your neural pathways so that you can transform and redirect the way that you're thinking. And so that's what I'm picking up on for you, is that you're going through a time of redirection. So you're redirecting yourself and you're trying to just feel your way around in the dark, and you don't really know if you're making the right decisions, and it's creating a lot of stress for you. I also pick up on the fact that you're very fatigued and almost like a feeling like on some levels you've given up. And so that's okay. I feel like just acceptance is the first path towards healing. So the other thing I'm coming up with is maybe some sleep issues, some insomnia, or some breathing issues, like maybe having a stuffed up nose, or experiencing hay fever or seasonal allergies. And the phrase of keep calm and carry on came to me for you. So it's about knowing that everything's a shit show and just taking the time to breathe and to, just like keep going about what you need to do in order to move your life forward. All right, so I picked up on the color green, and I also got the image of a snake. The snake is about restoration and about the ability to heal oneself. So it's kind of getting that for you. Also picked up on the element of gold and finances that are attracted to that. I was watching these reality shows about these people who go out and they're treasure hunters, and they're trying to find gold in lost places. And there was like on one of the maps, the like treasure maps, they had like the heart as the symbol for gold. And so what it makes me think about is the treasure that's within yourself, and being in connection with your heart and staying grounded within yourself. And even though you might be having financial problems, and focusing on that external gold to realize that the real gold is within you. All right, so then I came up with some foods and an essential oil for you, and maybe a couple of teas. So the foods I came up with for you are cherries, like cherry juice, dried cherries, or fresh cherries, and also almonds and dark chocolate. Those three things go really well together, so you could make a really nice cookie or a granola bar or something like that. And then I also picked up blueberries and any kind of dark berry. And I was picking up on nettle tea, green tea, or matcha. I feel like that's just going to make you feel like you can breathe better, because I'm definitely tapping into some like respiratory kind of stuff. And then the juniper berry essential oil is the oil that I picked for you. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this reading. So let's flip over these cards. Look at all the images first. Just So what I do is I do the channeled messages and a meditation first, and then I just intuitively pick cards, whatever feels right. And you know what? Somehow they always come together and create a message for me. So the first card you got is called the Moonlight card. And I know in the Alice in Wonderland story, it's the rabbit that goes mad. And is the Mad Hatter a rabbit also? I'm just thinking, what is the no, he's just a character, right? Anyways, so in this card they said, so you can see the moon in the moonlight in this gazing pool right here. And it's basically like these cards tell little stories. So it's saying, you know, to be careful to go into the forest at night during a full moon, because everything is totally different and nothing is as it seems. And you could go mad, just like these hares. These are supposed to be mad hares staring into the moonlight, going mad during the full moon. And the message behind this card is that nothing is as it seems and life is an illusion. Everything is about a shift of perspective. So if you shift your perspective, everything will be different. And sometimes if you shift your perspectives too much, you can feel like you're going mad because you don't have anything to anchor into or any core belief systems, because that can all change. You know, in that movie, The Matrix, you know, you have to pick the red pill or the blue pill, and that's the whole thing of it, is like, do you want to know or do you not want to know? If you don't want to know, you can live a life of being unconscious. If you want to know, there's going to be consciousness, but that can create madness or an inability to believe what is happening. But this card is saying to, at this time, let go of your logic mind and trust your intuitive mind. So I really want you to focus on getting in touch with your intuition and trust that your intellectual mind will be there for you when you need it. But right now, be relying and try to make decisions from your intuitive sense. All right, the 10 of Summer. So I see somebody as looking at what they have around them, and somebody who has a little bit of worry and anxiety about disrupting what they've built in their life, or having to let go of what you've spent so much time putting together. But nothing is going to just fade away. Everything transforms into another thing. So this is saying that you can be emotionally fulfilled. You can have a happy family life. You can be fulfilled with your friends and be proud of your children. It just might take a change of perspective. All right, so the next card, I've never pulled this card before. I think it's chrysocolla. It's really beautiful stone with some blue in it. And I love all these blues that are coming out in all these cards. So it says, my body and mind are in balance and I am healthy. So this is about, you know, calming yourself, keeping balanced. And, you know, I really like deep breathing exercises, because if you do like a nice inhale and make the exhale twice as long, it just immediately calms your nervous system. So I feel like that would be really good for you right now. So this is about reducing inflammation, releasing anger and resentment from the past, healing old mental and emotional wounds, and improving your inner peace. It's about right now for you, what's being healed is balancing the body, the mind, and the emotions together. All right, let's flip it back onto this image. All right, sorry, got a phone call, so I got disrupted, but this is the next card, which is the dragon's pet. And I don't know if you can see, but she's holding a little baby dragon. And so this card is about paying attention to signs and signals, you know, listening to when the dogs are barking in your neighborhood, being alert to what's going on with the animal world, the plant world, just that kind of intuitive sense of reading the signs and signals around you. And it's also about ownership and realizing that, you know, nobody owns a pet. You don't own the pet. The pet owns you just as much as you own it. I mean, yeah, you might have bought your dog and you might be paying for your dog to go to a vet and this and that and the other. But in this deck, they talk about nobody really owns anybody. It's all just kind of like an illusion, and to look at how you perceive ownership over things, and to let things carry you, because it's not all about, the control isn't all in owning things and controlling things. It's about being a guardian and a companion and a partner. All right, so then the next card is the Three of Pentacles. And so what I was picking up on here with the financial worries that this person is having is to not worry, that things will work out, that this person has spent a long time working on a specific skill set. And just to remind you that it's really important not to pursue empty things, but to really pursue the things that you love and to make a living doing the things that you love. It might be slow going at first, but of course with anything you build momentum. And so this is about finding partnerships. This card is about being in partnerships. So maybe there's some business deals or some things that you're going to do where you're partnering with other people. And the last card is Worthiness, and you can see she's looking into a pond at herself and smiling. And this is a card to remind you that the only person that you need to, have acceptance with is yourself. You don't need somebody else to say I love you. You don't need for permission from anybody to do anything, really. As long as you want to do something, you can do it no matter what it is. And to see yourself as worthy of accepting the things that you want in life. We're all just created here on the planet as brothers and sisters, and we're all equal, even though sometimes it doesn't seem that way. We're all just, as they say, children of God, and in His eyes we're all the same. So you find your worthiness within you, and this will help you move forward to the next stage of life and where you're going. So I just see you in a place where you're really releasing a lot of negative thoughts and changing perspectives and looking at things in new ways, and that can be very disorienting and make you feel like you're going mad. But to really focus on finding balance within, and to follow your intuition, and to reframe the way you look at certain things so that you can create a fulfilling life. And maybe in finances, look for some partnership kind of concepts that you can do to create more affluence. All right, so for everybody, I picked, in honor of the full moon, a quote about the moon. So this is your quote. So we'll go no more a roving so late into the night, though the heart be still as loving and the moon be still as bright. And that's by Lord Byron. All right, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If not, then you can choose one of the other ones that I have posted for what is healing during this full moon cycle.